very good morning to all my dear 7th class students. How are you all children? Children, I'm back with some more Olympiad practice questions from your lesson Physical and Chemical Changes, children. Okay, let's see. I hope you understood the lesson properly and it should not be a problem for you to answer these quick questions. Let's see. Let's see the first one. Which of the following is not a chemical change? So we know the difference between a chemical change and a physical change, right? Chemical changes are those in which a new substance is formed and it is a permanent change. Whereas physical change, you see there is no change in the chemical composition of a substance. Let's see the options. A, digestion of food, precipitation of rain and snow, rusting of iron, burning of paper. As you can see that all these A, C and D, in all these cases a new substance is formed. In digestion of food, energy is formed in the form of ATPs, and rusting of iron, rust is formed, burning of paper, ash is formed. So which are nothing but new substances which have been produced from nowhere, right? From the different substances, they react with each other and a new substance is formed. Whereas in precipitation of rain and snow, you can see that it's just like a water cycle, a part of the water cycle, which is nothing but there is only physical change happening over here, which is nothing but what you call conversion of interconversion of the states, physical states of water. That's all. So B is the right option here, children, which is not a chemical change, precipitation of rain and snow. Let's see the next one. Study the reaction given below. Can you see? Copper sulfate and iron. What is CuSO4, children? It is copper sulfate and iron gives rise to iron sulfate and copper. Can you tell me which type of reaction it is? Yes, it is chemical displacement reaction, children. So in this, what is happening? Iron, because it is more reactive when compared to copper, what happens? It occupies its place, forming a new compound. So it is undoubtedly a chemical reaction. Also, it is a kind of displacement reaction, right? So what is the question? What is the color change from copper sulfate to iron sulfate and what type of change is it? So what happens when an iron nail is dipped in copper sulfate solution? We all know this. What happens? The blue color of copper sulfate, it slowly, what happens as soon as you add this iron nail into it, it changes to pale green color because of the formation of iron sulfate and copper is displaced out. So what is the color change of the solution from copper sulfate to iron sulfate? Is it from blue to green or green to blue? First of all, see the half of the question answer. So you can see the correct one is actually from blue to green. Now, to the other part of the question, as far as other part of the question is concerned, what type of change is it? Is it a chemical change, CC, chemical change or physical change? We know that it is a chemical change. So option A should be the right option. Let's go to the third one. Some pieces of chalk are mixed with water. In this, how many new substances are formed? It's actually a tricky question. Actually, if you mix some pieces of chalk in water, no chemical reaction happens. No chemical reaction happens. It's just called dissolution. You mix a substance solute in water, it dissolves. That's all. So no chemical reaction happens here. That's why no new substance is formed. Dissolution, so dissolving something in water, is a physical change, children. So no new substances will be formed. D, none should be the answer. Which of the following is an incorrect match? Which of the following is an incorrect match? Most of the students get confused because of the questions actually. You have to find out the incorrect match. Most of you, what you do, you just don't read the question properly and you rush to the options and ultimately you just opt the wrong option. So that's not. You have to carefully read the question twice or thrice and then only go for the options. So you have to match, you have to find out the incorrect match now. Melting of wax, is it a chemical change? Burning of cracker, is it a chemical change? Melting of wax, physical change. Burning of wax, chemical change. Now you have to first know that, melting and burning of waxes is given over here. Wax is given here. Anything, when it burns, it produces a new substance. Melting, it's just a change in the physical state, children. So melting of wax or ice, whatever it is a physical change only. But whereas the burning of wax through the wick, actually the wax burns. So that burning of wax is considered as chemical change, but melting of wax is not a chemical change. So this one is actually the wrong option. If you see here, melting of wax, physical change, it is correct. Burning of cracker is a chemical change, it is correct. And this also is correct. So the wrong option is this. Wrong option means incorrect match is this. So A becomes our right option. Let's see some more questions. So you can see here the fifth question, children. Which of the following properties of iron is not a physical change? PC, I just wrote a shortcut over here. Physical change. Which of the following properties of iron is not a physical change? So they have given few properties of iron are given, and you have to find out the one which is not a physical change, okay, which does not represent a physical change. So first one, electrical conductivity. So if a particular substance or a thing is allowing electricity to flow through them, we call them as a conductor, good conductor of electricity. We know that iron is a good conductor of electricity. So it has good electrical conductivity. So just because of the fact that it allows electricity to pass through, or because of the fact that electrical conductivity it has, it doesn't mean that it is a chemical change. It does not undergo any chemical change when this is being reflected. I mean, when it is allowing electricity to pass through it, it is not actually undergoing any chemical change. The same is the case with the magnetic property also. Magnetic property is physical property. That's all. There is no change happening in the chemical composition because of these two. Good conductor of heat also. So you can see that in all these three cases, no new substance is formed, as well as there is no change, or it is not reacting with any other substance and forming a new substance. Got it? So all these three are the physical changes only. But rusting, if you see that it reacts with moisture, it reacts with oxygen and forms rust, which is nothing but iron oxide and water together, moisture together. So this forms a new compound or new substance called rust. So rusting is a chemical change. So this one should be the answer, because you have to opt which is not a physical change. Rusting is not a physical change. Next one. Which of the following is not a chemical change? Here that was not a physical change, and here not a chemical change. Now crystallization. So it is a process by which we get a pure substance, right children? You remember? So it is like, this is how this is the phenomenon or the process by which, not phenomenon, it is a process by which we get a pure substance. So it is a physical change only. Whereas you can see the respiration, you can see that it leads to the production of new substances. So it is a chemical change. Same is the case with combustion. Combustion is nothing but burning in the presence of oxygen, and it forms new substances. So combustion is also a chemical change. Oxidation, it is nothing but reaction of any substance with water, with oxygen, and it also leads in the production of some new substance. In all these three things, you see that new substances are formed. Respiration, you can see a lot of energy and carbon dioxide is released out. Combustion, also new substance, and oxidation, also new substance is formed. Whereas crystallization, here you don't get any new substance formed, but it is just a purification. A pure substance can be obtained by crystallization. So A should be the right option. Coming to the next one, pick the odd one out. You can see here children, cooking of food, evaporation of water, cutting of grass, switching of bulb on actually. So you can see that switching off a bulb on or off, that is also a physical change, because here no new substance is formed, just electricity flows through it, that's all. And cutting of grass also, it is cutting of grass, the size of the grass is reduced, but it is not a chemical change because no new substance is formed. It is considered as an irreversible change, but not a chemical change. Hope you know the difference between irreversible change and chemical change. Okay children? So can you see children? So the right option here, it should be cooking of food. Evaporation of water also is a physical change. So cooking of food. When a substance undergoes a physical change, its mass, what happens when a substance undergoes a physical change? Is there any change in the mass? Does it increase or decrease or remain same? It remains same, children. It remains same. So in a chemical change or in a physical change, actually the mass remains same. Like, there is a conservation of mass. Mass can be neither created not destroyed. So whatever reactants that are undergoing a chemical reaction, if you calculate their mass, and the products which are formed in a chemical reaction, if you calculate their mass, you will see that both of them will be equal. So in a physical change, the mass remains same. So that's all for today, children. Next time I'll be coming up with more questions from your chapter Physical and Chemical Changes. Okay? Thank you.